Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mid-Month Mixer. I'm Johnny Yarbrough, the agency ambassador. I'm going to be hosting today's Mid-Month Mixer. We've got some really cool people on the line, so I'm excited to introduce them, and I'm sure they're excited to share some cool information with you guys. Their names are right here. We've got Cathy Trimble and Kevin Kelly from Appulate, and then a special guest, Brian DeGraw, who's the vice president of Callin Company. So he'll be talking as well. If you want to join future webinars, check out our webinar schedule right on our homepage in the bottom right-hand corner. If you click on that upcoming webinar button, it will take you to all of our webinars, which include all of our future mid-month mixers. We have weekly webinar workshops each week on Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time, where we kind of take a nice topic and condense it into a bite-sized training session. And of course, our regular standard and premium training and more. And every one of these gets recorded and will be put up on our YouTube page. And also within your portal, if you log in, click on the question mark in the upper right-hand corner. You can click on videos, and you can watch any video that we record, including today's session. At the end, we're going to be taking some questions. So there's a couple ways you can do that. If you check out your side panel, you can click on that little hand, which is on the left-hand side. That's how you can raise your hand. I'll unmute you so you can ask a question. Or, of course, you can type a question in at the question box. It'll show up. I'll read it out, and they'll answer those questions. I promise I won't make fun of you or pick on you. No questions are dumb, and I will stop the recording before we do our questions session. All right, so I'm going to pass this right on over to Cathy Trimble. Cathy, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. I'd like to thank everyone for their time today. And our topic for this mixer is about a toolkit that Appulate has that we launched probably about 18 months ago called Program Connect. And there's a funny little story behind it. Probably within the last 2 years, our support department at Appulate started to notice that they were getting lots of emails from retail agents like yourself. So we're using Appulate to upload work comp applications to your market provider. You were uploading other lines of business, and then you were left with a part of that risk that you needed coverage for. And in a support email, many agents were saying, hey, do you have a place to put bot business? Do you have a place to put transportation business? Do you have a market for flood? And for the longest time, Appulate had to reply, hey, we're a technology provider. We're not an MGA. We're not a program provider. And that's what got us thinking that, Appulate is a great place to have program business available to you, the retail agent, hence the launch of our Program Connect product. Next slide, Johnny, please. So what does Program Connect do for you as a retail agent? What we've done is offered program administrators and those MGAs that have the pen and have the ability to find business, and even potentially some retail agents that are in the program business, the ability to expose their programs online and within the Appulate environment. And by doing that, they're able to let folks like you, retail agents, know that this program exists. Because of the upload tools that you've received from a carrier or from an MGA that you're already doing business with, Appulate has amassed one of the largest distribution channels of retail agents. So there's over 27,000 of you that use Appulate, and many of you were looking for access to programs and specialty coverages and needed solutions for unique risks that you needed to cover and are looking to Appulate. And so within the Appulate platform, having program business be part of the experience for you has really led to retail agents being able to submit more business to more providers, which is giving you more quotes to take back to your insured, and hopefully helping you write more business and maintain a higher profit margin back at the agency. And so the key to Program Connect is that it allows a retail agent like yourself access to program business within Appulate, the tool that you're already using on a daily or weekly basis. And with the Program Connect tool, our providers are able to leverage and display for you and give you a real-time rate quote bind type experience within the Appulate toolkit. Thanks, Johnny. So what is your experience like? So many of you already know how to upload an application and you get it to your carrier into the carrier provided portal and you go on in their workflows. But within the Appulate toolkit, you can actually give more risk information, whether it's a cord risk information or it's for a specialty line such as professional liability. Our program providers have actually set up their questionnaires inside Appulate. So you can see from the screen, all you have to do is log into Appulate, select the line of business that you're looking for, the provider's name will come up, and then you're going to be prompted with the questions that are relevant to their specific program and coverage. Next, please. So once you've completed their questionnaire successfully, and you'll see the green A that you're possibly familiar with when you're using Appulate for other workflows, all you have to do is hit the submit arrow, and then your proposal or your rate indication will be delivered to you real time right then and there. In the Program Connect workflow, you don't necessarily have to wait for a response from an underwriter. You know, as a retail agent right then and there, whether your risk fits within the program, so it fits within their underwriting guides, or if it's just outside of this traditional underwriting guides that they have, you're actually going to receive a message that you're going to get a referral to the underwriter and should hear from the underwriter shortly. Next screen, Johnny. So what Appulate's Program Connect toolkit and workflow can bring to your agency is the ability to rate, quote, and bind business in real time. So eliminating the back and forth kind of communication with an MGA or with a program provider, as long as the risk fits within the appetite guide, you're going to be able to get right to the premium and right to the proposal and hopefully right into a binding workflow real time as soon as you're entering the information from that risk. So program administrators benefit from this because they're able to leverage Appulate's technology to connect with you. You're able to leverage Appulate's technology so that you can find folks, program folks that specialize in the type of risk that you need to insure. One thing to keep in mind is that Appulate is adding these new programs every month. So as a retail agent, you normally get our support type emails. You're also going to get emails about new programs that are offered within Appulate. We do have the ability to offer some policy issuance with some particular programs, so you may see some differences, but as far as being able to offer a rate quote bind type experience for you, that's our goal at the end. And the cool thing is that Appulate, as you already know, integrates very easily with your retail agency management system. So you can be right inside your client, inside your policy, doing your regular service work, and with one button, you can get right into Appulate and actually get a proposal from one of our program administrators and have your proposal ready to take to your insured. So we found this works really great for those of you that write a lot of high transaction or high volume type business and have those type of clients as opportunities, or if you have a lot of clients that have some unique risks, all of those, you may be able to find the perfect program coverage within Appulate. Next screen, Johnny. And so you may be asking yourself, what lines of business can be supported in this Program Connect workflow that Appulate's offering you? Well, we're already seeing, quite a few of the standard Accord line programs being stood up and supported in Appulate, but we're also attracting program administrators that write unique coverage. So things that there's not a standard Accord line of business for. So for example, professional liability, cyber liability. We've got some cargo and flood and property, and especially some of the highly specialized general liability like contractors, equipment, and builders risk. You're also going to find special programs for those particular risks within Appulate. But we're open to anything that's out there. Next, Johnny, please. So at this point, I gave you a really short overview of what the Program Connect tool can do. And I'd love for us to just chat with one of, I guess, the program administrator leaders in the industry, one of our good clients and dear friends, Brian DeGraw. He's representing Callin Company, who is leveraging the Appulate technology, and I'd love to hear him tell you why he feels it's a good fit for Callin Company and what his expectations are within Appulate. Brian?
Hi, Kathy. Thanks so much for having me. It's a real honor and excited to talk to your listeners. So here's why I feel that this opportunity and this format is so exciting. And it all started when I started in my early days as an underwriter in the insurance industry, specifically in the specialty lines area, where as a junior underwriter in your training, you're having to gather so much information, doing all the grunt work to transact these small premium accounts in the traditional model where you're sending information back and forth between you and the retail agent. You quickly realize how inefficient that model is. And so from an early age, I realized that I wanted to be part of the future in changing the way that this business was transacted and not a part of the past, right? And particularly with small premium accounts, your agents will know, and I was one for several years, an independent agent after being an underwriter for a number of years. Us agents know that if we have to touch a small premium account more than once or twice, well, we've just lost money on that account. But we have to bear in mind that we've got to do what's right for the customer. And what's right for the customer is to provide them with a premium product at a competitive price. But we want to do that in the most efficient way we can. And when I learned about Appulate several years ago and we connected, I was blown away by the solution that you provide to independent agents. It really touches on a number of core issues that I think independent agents face today, particularly when it comes to small business. Let's face it, more and more direct insurance carriers are targeting this business. And I'm going to use a dirty word right now, but that's dirty word is disintermediation, right? And independent agents know all too well that carriers are getting more sophisticated in the way that they connect with risks, with buyers, and they're bypassing the independent agency model. And Appulate gives them a tool and a very efficient way to write this business, to be competitive in the marketplace, to provide premier products through program managers like us. And it solves buyers' solution to get them a product in an efficient way. So it makes them more relevant. So it's touching on a number of factors that I think are super important, particularly as we look ahead with how technology is impacting the way that insurance business is transacted. So when we focus on program business, for example, and why this is a great venue for program administrators like Callin Company, it puts our product, which we've custom crafted to the risks that we insure, in this case, a miscellaneous professional liability product where we insure hundreds of classes of professionals. By custom crafting that product and being able to put it on a platform that our agents can get quotes immediately from, puts the power back in the agent's hand and gives them a way to make more money on this business. The traditional model of receiving a submission from a client and then forwarding that submission via email to perhaps 10 different insurance markets, and then having to manage that transactional process with each of those markets to whom they've submitted, it becomes very labor intensive. And by having a venue like the Appulate Program Connect model, that they can get instantaneous quotes and request to bind online in minutes, is a terrific way for them to focus on the small business, make money on that small business, and do what's right by the client by giving them custom coverage that they really demand. So it's a super exciting venue. I'm tremendously thrilled to be a part of it. I think the sky's the limit of where we can go from here. We're looking forward to adding new products onto the platform to give our agents more choices, more opportunities to target this business. And I welcome any questions about what we're doing and what we have planned to do. And again, I really appreciate the time that you've allowed me to spend here.
Awesome, Brian. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm going to move on to this slide here. If you guys have any questions, again, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can raise your hand, or you can click in the questions box and add a question. I've got a few here already, and I can go ahead and throw these out. And Kevin, feel free to jump in as well. I think these are good questions for pretty much everybody. And I'll read the questions off that any of our attendees asked. So the first one I had was, what do I do if I have a program I want to plug into Appulate?
Yeah, I can take that one, Johnny. This is Kevin. We have a lot of different processes in place. One of the things that we start with is what we call the artifacts. We like to take the programs and see the rating in that if you're the program administrator. If you're a retail agent and you work with a program administrator, please have them call us, or better yet, talk to them about Appulate and have your input to them and asking them for a better way, just a better way of doing business. It goes a really long way towards that program administrator. So then when we reach out and follow up, they know it's something their agents are asking for. So please pass those on to us.
Awesome. And Brian, this one's for you. Have you noticed a big difference in writing business since submissions come through Appulate?
Yeah, I mean, we're just launching our program on Appulate, so I don't want to, mislead anybody and give false information, but we're working with some agents to beta test what we've built over the last several months and getting ready for a full launch onto the platform. But we're getting tremendous feedback from our beta testers. These are agents that I would call kind of super users. They write a lot of miscellaneous professional liability in the traditional way. And their challenge has always been that it's just a slow process. It's really inefficient. And they're super excited about how simple it is to use Program Connect, how they can self-serve for a lot of the different transactional components of the business that they need. And so they're excited about sending more and more business through it. And we're excited about building in new and greater tools that they can utilize to make the product even better. So we expect that we will see tremendous results from a bind to quote ratio because of the ease of use of this and how simple it is for clients to take advantage of it.
Awesome. This question's for Kevin and Cathy. How many programs will Appulate have, and is there any extra cost associated with that?
I'll go ahead and take that. Appulate, we obviously have an unlimited ability to put programs together for our retail agents to use. And typically the licensing is on the hands of the program administrator that's putting the program in front of the retail agents. As far as if there's any cost to the retail agents to use them and to access those programs and to submit business into those programs, it's absolutely free to retail agents to use it. Our program administrator clients are leveraging Program Connect to make it as easy as possible for you, the retail agent, to get business to them and get that business written in a real-time rate quote bind experience.
Awesome. Brian, this is for you. What products and states are you planning to offer solutions through Appulate?
So currently we'll be launching a miscellaneous errors and omissions policy that provides professional liability coverage to several hundred different classes of professionals. So everything from marketing consultants, computer consultants, bookkeepers. There's a host of literally hundreds of different types of businesses that qualify for the errors and omissions coverage. And we provide limits up to $3 million, low deductible, in some cases no deductible options, really competitively priced. And we have the ability to write in all states. And beyond that, if it doesn't fit our online Program Connect model, we instantaneously, as a brokerage, a full service brokerage, can utilize the remainder of our markets to provide solutions that perhaps based on different underwriting criteria, it wasn't a fit through the portal. So, and then down the road, we are excited to continue to expand the product offering. In my view, there's great opportunity to offer employment practices liability coverage. We'd like to be able to add a BOP to the current program that we're currently writing and increase the types of businesses that qualify for that. Cyber liability is a great product that this is a terrific venue for. So I have my eye on a number of different products, and we're continuing to look at ways to build those on.
Awesome. Kevin and Cathy, how can I add a program I submit to normally into Appulate?
As a retail agent, when you are in Appulate, you can actually go into the area where you select markets. And if you'd like to try out Brian DeGraw's professional liability, all you need to do is look for Callin Company and add Callin Company as a selected market. And then at that point, you'd be able to select the professional liability line of business and answer the questions, go through the questionnaire, that we showed earlier in this conversation, and you'd be able to submit your new business risk to Callin Company. And the same would work with any of the other programs that we have up in Appulate within the Program Connect workflow.
Awesome. If there are any other questions, feel free to add those now. I'm going to do kind of a last call for questions. And then, of course, Kevin and Cathy, if you have any questions for Brian or vice versa, feel free. I'm waiting for any more questions to come through. All right, last.
I'm good on my. I was going to say, Johnny, I'm good on my end. I think this is just a really, as Brian DeGraw said, a really exciting opportunity for agents to find special programs, special coverages to really enhance the relationship that they have with their insured and really make those insured much more sticky to the agency and keep that business on the books by being able to find creative and custom coverages via Appulate's Program Connect.
Absolutely. This is such a cool feature of Appulate, and I'm really glad that we got some people to join us and are listening to this, because this is really going to be the future of Appulate in a way. I'm really excited about it. I'm so glad, Brian. I appreciate you joining, and Kevin and Cathy, thank you so much. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
I'd like to finish by saying that we can't emphasize enough that the more programs we have, the more valuable it is to everybody. Hats off to guys like Brian that understand it and get it, and he's obviously going to have an advantage being one of the early adopters. But to all the retail agents out there, if you find yourself doing a hole-in-one policy or one of those things that you fill out a fillable PDF and wait a couple days for a response. When you're working with those kind of companies, it's really affordable for them to put that whole thing online and serve you better to get an immediate quote and a request to bind. So, just keep the suggestions coming. The more programs we have, the better it is for everybody. And Brian, thank you again. Hats off to Callin Company. You guys are doing great things for us. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin and Cathy. Johnny, appreciate it. It was a pleasure to be on today and to be involved with Appulate. You guys have been a tremendous partner.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank everybody for joining. If you wanted to catch any of this that you missed, we will be uploading the recording of this. So feel free to check that out. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of the week.